Alexa, does the firmament touch the earth?
From Wikipedia.org. The firmament is said to be made of solid ice occupying the space between the earth and the first heaven.
Can anyone get through the firmament?
From Substack.com. NASA used high-altitude explosives to try and penetrate the firmament, and what they filmed of the operation was the result of their explosives creating massive watery wave propagation above them as they hit the quasi-vitreous dome above the Earth known as the firmament.
Alexa, is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys can see, but the world is actually flat. You can see it right there at the end. See that? See it way out there? It's all flat. Except for that. That's not flat.
I just figured this out. Earth is code for ether. So the Coriolis effect is not the spinning of Earth. The Coriolis effect is the effect the sun has on the ether, which does circulate. Just like when a boat goes through water and it makes little whirlpools to the side where the wake goes, that's what the ether does. When the small local sun passes through the atmosphere, it affects the ether, and on either side it sends swirls of solar energy out. That's the Coriolis effect. So they tell us the Coriolis effect is the measure of Earth's spin. It's the measure of the ether spin. They tricked us.
So we know these videos are real because there's bubbles floating around in space. And the International Space Station is located in the Gulf of Mexico, underwater. So they do all of their practicing to go to space underwater. That's how we know these videos are real. Just look at those little tiny bubbles floating around in the empty vacuum of space. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Oh, there's another one. There's another one. It just keeps going, folks. If you're in an empty vacuum, one, how is the rocket propelling off of anything in an empty vacuum? Two, where are the bubbles coming from? Those are air bubbles. So what's outside of the air bubble? Water? I mean, the International Space Station is underwater, so that would make sense, right? Oh, there's another one. Crazy. I mean, a flat earther must have just edited this and thrown it in here. I think that's what happened, to be completely honest. Like I said, folks, it's not like they're underwater. Wink, wink. Like, for the love of Christ. Do you see how many bubbles are in these videos? It's absolutely insane, but I still believe.
See this image here? It's the Apollo 11 leaving the moon, okay? So I'm lying down here so you see it better, and sorry because it's a little blurry because it's from 1969. Okay, so it's leaving the moon. Huh? Who took this picture? Ah? Did they leave a cameraman there taking the picture? Option 1. Option 2. Did they leave a tripod taking the picture and then they sent it through Wi-Fi that didn't exist? Ah, option 2. I don't think so. So, they lied to us. They lied to us. This is done in a Hollywood studio. They could not take that picture. Whoever took that picture stayed in the moon forever.
The Earth is flat.
If y'all want proof the Earth is flat, I just seen one of these neighbors with a sundial, and look at the old text on it. You can see the Roman numerals, and you can see the shadow. So that means that the sun should be behind us because it's leaving a forward shadow. You see? So it's a flat Earth. That platform represents flat Earth, and the shadow represents the sun going around it. So that's why they made sundials back in the day. Everything from back in the day is real and authentic. Real and authentic. Look at the Roman numerals so you can tell time.
Sundials are an old way to tell the time, using only the light from the sun. Look at this time lapse that took an entire day to film. The part of the sundial that sticks up, which is called the gnomon, casts a shadow on the face of the sundial. When the sun rises in the east, the shadow goes to the left of the gnomon. As the sun crosses the sky to the west, where it sets, the shadow moves across the face of the sundial, crossing the numbers as it goes. And that is what you use to tell the time. Of course, the sundial does not move at all. In fact,
but for those who don't, falls in line with the torus, which is basically a donut. Have you ever heard that your eyes are the window to your soul? Well, what's the shape of your eye? It's a torus. You'll soon realize that we see this everywhere. Even the words that come out of our mouth all fall in line with the torus. We have an electromagnetic field that radiates around us, same shape. And it actually changes when we have fear versus when we have love. Fear, it creates a lower frequency, it lowers the immune function and it creates disorder. Versus love, it's a higher frequency, creates order, and strengthens the immune system. Now, does it make a little more sense when they told you to stay 6 feet away when the whole world shut down a few years ago? We also see this everywhere in nature. We see this everywhere. Now, if you take a magnet and put it on a device called a ferrocell, it actually shows you what the magnetic field lines look like. For example. Alright, now keep this in mind and check this out. So this right here is the path that the ISS makes over a geocentric Earth, meaning the Earth at the center. Now, if we take those magnetic field lines and we map it over the path of the ISS, it matches perfectly. As if we live in the center of creation, but that's not all. Again, the magnetic field lines versus solar eclipse. The path of the planets with the Earth at the center with these luminaries all moving over the Earth. Everything seems to fall in line with this torus. Even when we map out the position of the sun using a supercomputer, it falls in line with the torus as well. Magnetic flux data projected on a plane as if there's a vortex in the middle, which again lines up perfectly. So we effectively live between a double donut sandwich on a plane that's in the middle of a double torus. Such as, so we would live on that green plane and we would experience that top torus over the Earth. That's what all observations show us. Yet we're told that we live on a spinning flying space rock that's flying around the sun when we experience the complete opposite of that. But we actually live in the center of creation on a perfectly designed timepiece where the sun tells us the time of the day, the moon tells us the time of the month, and the stars tell us the time of the years. Our Creator is incredible. What up, fam? This is Francois Gabert, probably butchered that, and he won the 2012-2013 Vendée Globe Race in 78 days, 2 hours, and 16 minutes. But here's the crazy part. Alright, so this is the path that they take, where they navigate around the alleged continent at the bottom of a ball. So if this is the path on a ball, they'd be turning right the entire time. But on a flat Earth, they'd be turning left the entire time. So let's listen to what the man has to say himself.
Et un tour du monde en bateau, c'est très très simple. Hein. Oui. On descend l'Atlantique, on tourne à gauche à chaque fois, et puis on tourne. Comme si on faisait le tour d'un lotissement. Enfin, je veux dire, il faut toujours tourner à gauche. Si on hésite à un moment donné, il faut tourner à gauche. Il faut toujours tourner à gauche. Il faut toujours tourner à gauche. Il faut toujours tourner à gauche.
From the man himself, you must always turn left. Doesn't work on a ball.
L'Atlantique, on tourne.
For those that don't know, Antarctica has the highest average elevation on Earth because it contains all of our water. So here you go. Antarctica surrounds all of the water. We effectively live in a giant pond, and all of these land masses is what we call Earth. Sorry, Globies, Earth is flat.